Here we are, back on Roadcraft, probably for the last video. Anyway, so what are we doing? So we've got to find a safe, and we've got to do a few other bits. So we're just we've got to find a few locations, which is why we're in this rescue truck. It's like a little Scout, but it's a bit beefier than the other Scout. It does look like an Iveco van in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. But it is quite capable. It's got a diff lock, all-wheel drive and low ratio, and it also has fuel. It carries spare fuel, so it can actually fuel up other trucks. Not by much. Anyway, so we did use it to find one location, which just happened, and I was close to another one, so I thought, I'll zip there, and it's one where you've got to get this safe. Now I'm assuming we will have to winch the safe, but I knew it was going to be on top of in a building, so I thought this truck would be perfect for that endeavour. So I'm just going to flip to that now. So we're on this building site and it's over there, the safe on the right at the top there. So I spotted it and I don't know what I was thinking, I just got carried away here. I drove across and thought, oh look, there's a board there and a ramp, and then didn't realise that there's a big hole there. And this is typical SnowRunner Roadcraft. Look at the predicament that I've got myself into now. That's why it's such a multiplayer game, because hopefully you wouldn't be on your own, and in this case one of your buddies could just winch you out or crane you out of the way. Instead I've got myself in a complete muddle. There's nothing I can do with that, so we're going to have to get a crane, but we would need to do that anyway because where the safe is. So we're going to send another Scout because I feel that what we were using them will struggle anyway, so I think we'll get that truck out of there, or we'll recover it, and we need the little Scout which will be a bit more nimble to go up there. So here we are, and again this is true, so we're going to try and find a little shortcut to get into that place, and we're going to tip it over, which is typical. As you can see, I have got another truck there now with a crane, which is very lucky. So we're going to try and we will crane that Land Rover lookalike back up. We can just jump into this, and fortunately we can crane the Land Rover up. Now I was thinking that, can I crane the Land Rover up to the top floor to get the safe? But this crane hasn't got the lift or the height on it, unless there's a better way to go, or a better crane, which indeed there is, but I don't know. This is what I like about this game. There's no right or wrong ways. This might be the way I'm doing it totally wrong, and there might be a lot better ways to do it. As you say, this is interesting, so I didn't even know you can do this. So we can actually lift up the vehicle and move it across. So this might be handy later on to move across rivers or impassable terrain, that you can actually lift the vehicle, and look, we can lift it quite a way. So that's something I've learned, which I didn't know before we started this. So that's a very good, in my opinion, possible thing we can do. Anyway, we will need that vehicle later to get safe, but that is not going to help us for now. So what we are going to have to do, I think, when we finally... No, right, we finally freed it. Right, let's send it up there and see what we can do, because what I've worked out is that where we fell through, there's a panel above. You're about to see it. So this is where you've got to work things out. So there's that hole where our van was, and I realise there's a concrete thing above it. I reckon we've got to knock it down, and there's little clues there, like those wooden things on the floor. That gives me an idea. Stairs that lead nowhere. So what we're going to do is quickly go up these stairs a little bit and winch that box forward, or backward, whatever way you want to call it. It's like a little puzzle, but again with help this would be so much better. So we're going to winch this towards us, hopefully. There she blows, and then we're just going to drive over it. Easy. What could go wrong? Well, you get stuck for a start. But eventually, give it a bit of a run. We can do this. Come on. Come on. Eventually, we managed to just about get over the gap. Brilliant. So, now, very simple. What could go wrong? Absolutely nothing. All we've got to do is drive down there, knock that concrete onto there, then reverse our route, drive over, and knock the safe off into the waiting lorry below with the wings. Nothing could go wrong here, could it? Except you can clearly see it has. So we've got our vehicle stuck upside down and we've got the concrete in a right muddle. So once again, unforgiving. What do? Well, I'm on my own, I'm stuck. The only thing I can do is call in the big guns. Luckily, we just unlocked this truck. And I say luckily, that's why you've got to praise this game. They obviously knew that you're going to need this sort of thing at this stage of the game. So they deliberately, or whatever, unconsciously give you this truck, which we're going to need. So now we're going to have to whiz over there in this truck, which again, on multiplayer would have been so much better because somebody else could have already had this truck over there. So you could have worked together. You know, one of you could have had a scout, one of you could have had the big crane, and one of you could have had a sport vehicle. Which would have made this endeavour a lot quicker and so much easier. Anyway, we're on site with the big crane. We're just there now, and again, nothing can go wrong here, can it? Surely, this is in the bag. This is. We get the crane there. Everything's good. Brilliant. Another quick job completed in Roadcraft. We seem to be stuck on a wall. Let's give it a bit of oomph. They're definitely stuck on a wall. Right, here we go. I don't know how, we've got like 8-wheel drive. I was stuck on that wooden beam by the looks of it. Not frustrating at all, that. Anyway, alright, we'll reverse up and give it a bit more oomph. I'm sure that's it, we can go higher, that'll solve it. No. Right, nobody could see that happen, could they? Right, so it's no problem because we have another crane truck there, don't we? So I know what I'll do. I'll jump in that and just crane the crane truck over that's tipped over with the other crane truck, if that makes sense. Anyway. So here we go. No, that's not going to work. We're starting to tip. No, we're starting to tip. That's not going to work. Okay, so we can't crane that truck over with this truck because this truck's too light. Brilliant. Okay, so back to the drawing board. This means that we will have to start again. So we will recover the big crane truck and make the journey yet again and try and see if we can redo that. See, it's not frustrating at all, this game, as you can see. It's very calming. You know, we're not going to drive into the deep water here, are we, and sink in any way. No worries there. Anyway, right, here we go. We are finally there. We've managed to get round the other side. Don't ask, it was a nightmare. Anyway, we're here. So now, nothing can go wrong now. All we've got to do is pull up, remove the Land Rover, put the concrete bed down, and then my plan, I'd thought about already, is we can lift the Land Rover back up there, knock the safe off, and away we go. A very quick mission completed in a very speedy time of probably about 4 hours. So there you go. Right, here we go. We're going to speed this up so it don't take so long. Where's the crane? Let's get the Land Rover. There she blows. Let's lower it down. Don't know what we're doing with it at the minute because we didn't know where to put it. Right, we're going to just chuck it over there for now. That's fine. Right, let's get the concrete. That can't be hard. Right, that's fine, but there's a gap at the end. So we're trying to move it up a bit. Very hard to do. Done. Right, let's chuck the Land Rover up there. Right, finally we can see the safe and we can actually carry out the mission that we were planning to do. So the safe's now registering, brilliant. Now I was looking at the map just to see what I'm going to do here, because obviously I can knock it over the side, but what I didn't want to do was knock it over to a bit that we can't get to, or we can't get another vehicle to. But it was pretty safe. If we could knock it over there, we would be alright. Unfortunately, I didn't exactly mean to follow it, but there you go, we did anyway. So then I had an idea. I thought, I wonder if we can winch the safe over to the bottom road here, because I know I can get on that bottom road. So we're going to try and winch it with this, but it is not going to be strong enough, I don't think. So, yeah, that's not going to be strong enough. So, well, that's fine, because we have another vehicle here, don't we, with a crane. So we're going to just hop in that now. There we go. Hopefully nothing can go wrong, and if it does, we've got our big chrome truck there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we can drive along this grass bit, hopefully, and winch the safe into the back. Shouldn't be too much of a bad job, hopefully. There you go, safe is in the back, and away we go. All we've got to do now is deliver it, and for that, very quick bit of work, like I say, it only took 5 hours. I think we get, 1,000 XP and about £5,000. So it was very much worth all the effort of doing this. As we nearly tip, massive panic going on there. As you can see how bad this map is. And if we can get up this road, I don't want to say it's in the bag, but it should be in the bag. Right, we're up this road, and away we go. Easy peasy. And now it's just a matter, I'm just going to move this out of the way, I think, or just check. That's fine, it's just going to turn the engine off. So we've just got to deliver this now to somewhere, and we will close the mission. So I'm just going to skip on to that. Lovely. So you get the gist of it. Anyway, thanks for watching as always. Hit the like if you liked it, and we will be back on GT7 very shortly in the next video. Thanks for watching.